on in the show. And also, every Sunday, we normally like to take a look at the men and women that have made headlines in your world of sport during the week. And today, of course, we want to go through some of the men and women that have made headlines. And we begin with the CAF president. This is Ahmed after he was arrested earlier on in the week in France. And this is because there were reports that he was involved in corruption. He was arrested and later he was released he flew back to Africa, that is to Egypt, where the preparations for this year's edition of the Africa Cup of Nations, the preparations are going on. We move on to the other men and women that have made headlines this week. Now, Eden Hazard finally has signed for Real Madrid, making a move from Chelsea to the Spanish Giants, and now he's one of the Galacticos. We move on to the men and women that have made headlines this week. It was a battle of the Titans, the clash of the Titans, and this was in the Roland Garros, and we had Rafael Nadal knocking out Roger Federer in the quarterfinals. Remember, Nadal has already made it to the finals of the Roland Garros, where he will be taking on Dominic Thiem. We move on to the other men and women that have made the headlines this week. Kawhi Leonard led the Toronto Raptors to getting a series lead, 3-1. So far, he led the Toronto Raptors in winning Game 4 against the Golden State Warriors earlier on in the week. Let's move on to the other men and women that have made headlines this week now. Veteran football commentator Mohamed Juma Njuguna died yesterday. Of course, Kenya loses one of the greatest football commentators that we've had in the country. Let's move on to other men and women that have made headlines this week. Now, France are hosting the FIFA Women's World Cup. And what a way to open this year's edition of the FIFA Women's World Cup as they stroll to a 4-0 win against South Korea. And let's move on to other men and women that have made headlines. And then we have Cristiano Ronaldo scoring a hat-trick in the semi-finals of the UEFA Nations League and enabling Portugal to get to the final. That match ended 3-1 against Switzerland. Let's move on to other men and other headlines this week. Of course, when you talk about Cristiano, you definitely have to talk about Lionel Messi, and he was in superb form as Argentina hammered Nicaragua 5-0. Let's move on to other moments of the week. We had Kenyan captain Victor Wanyama scoring as Kenya defeated Madagascar. Let's move on to other gentlemen and women that have made headlines this week now. Dominic Thiem, earlier on in the week, came out saying that Serena Williams has a bad personality. Of course, this is after Thiem was told to move out of his interview where he was engaging journalists so that Serena Williams can use that room for other media engagement. So those are just some of the men and women that have made headlines this week in your world of sport. We had a number of events taking place this week in sports, and of course those are just some of the men and women that have made headlines this week. But we want to kick off a scoreline this afternoon with football, and Captain Victor Wanyama slotted in the lone goal as Kenya beat Madagascar 1-0 in a pre-season international friendly match played on Friday at the Stade Robert Bobin Stadium in Paris, France.
It's always important, to have games friendlies like this and to get on a good run. And when you win games like this, it gives you confidence going to the next one with big confidence, and also is a morale to us players. And it's just important to start this way.
Harambee Stars captain Victor Wanyama speaking after Kenya got a 1-0 win against Madagascar in a friendly match that was played in Paris in France. Now, Kenya was taking part in the All-Africa Games qualifiers here in Nairobi at the Kasarani Gymnasium, and the men's team managed to finish bottom of the log as Egypt got the lone ticket from Zone 5. Rotuno Kwonyike sat down with the men's volleyball coach, that is Moses Elopoto, and this is what he said about the national team.
The Africa Zone 5 Championships came to a staggering end for Kenya on Wednesday at the Kasarani Gymnasium, with the men's national volleyball team missing a chance to participate in the 2019 All-Africa Games set for Morocco in August.
The expectations of the Kenyans were very high. In fact, the expectations of the team were high too. But the performance generally was fair, not bad compared to what we have done previously. The team is still young, and I think they will go places. These are the same teams that we played in 2017, and they have all decided to go at least 1 or 2 levels up.
The zone is very competitive. It is anyone's game, anywhere.
Egypt emerged the winner with 9 points as Uganda took the runners-up position 5 points behind, following a hard-earned first-time victory over Rwanda, who were third with 3 points, as the hosts trailed with 2 points.
It's been about 15 years without beating Rwanda. We have gone through the ranks. My players are younger, his players have grown older. It was about the time. The last few games we have played, they have always ended in decisive.
We must continue to go for the next competition, which is African Cup of Nations in Tunisia. So we are going to correct what we have seen affected us, especially on this match.
Despite boasting a home advantage, Kenya failed to live to the billing. So what went wrong?
We started well against Uganda, although we also expected to beat Uganda by 3-1 ultimately, and we also faltered against Rwanda. Rwanda came out strongly. The lapse in the last 2 points, I can basically blame it on psychological strength. Exposure on the club level and exposure on national level, those are 2 different areas. And that's why I was talking to the president of Kenya Volleyball Federation, that this team should continually compete at the continental level.
Rwanda's head coach Paul Bitok feels there is a new wave of change in volleyball in Africa, especially in the Zone 5 region.
We have to watch out, especially us in Rwanda and also Kenya. If we don't send our players to go out, then we will face a lot of rough time with these East African countries.
It is now back to the drawing board for the men's national team as they evaluate areas they need to improve on in their next assignments. Rotuno Kwonyike, KTN Sports.
Rotuno Kwonyike speaking with the national men's volleyball team head coach after Kenya finished last in the Zone 5 All-Africa Games qualifiers that took place here in Nairobi at the Kasarani Gymnasium. Now let's shift gears. Let's move away from volleyball. Let's get into some football action, and it is the season finale of the National Super League. 2 teams will get promotion today to the Kenya Premier League, and one will be taking part in the playoff that will be taking place later on. And also, there are teams that will drop from the National Super League. So we want to take a quick look at the fixtures for the National Super League matches that we have. Remember, all matches have just kicked off. All matches were kicking off at exactly 2 p.m. So all matches have kicked off. Administration Police will be taking on Bidco United. Eldoret Youth will be in action against Nairobi Steamer, one of the teams that is seeking to get into the Kenya Premier League. Fortune Sacco will be taking on Modern Coast. Green Commandos will be in action against Coast Steamer. Kenya Police will be battling Ushuru. Let's take a look at the other fixtures that we have. And then we have Kibera Black Stars taking on Nairobi City Stars. Migori Youth will be in action against Kangemi Stars. Shabana takes on FC Talanta. Thika United will be hosting Kisumu Stars. And then Wazito FC will be taking on St. Joseph Youth. Those are the 10 fixtures that we have for the National Super League this afternoon. Remember, the league ends this afternoon. We'll be knowing who gets the promoted to the Kenya Premier League. So let's take a look at the top 5 teams that we have in this league. Now, the top 5 teams, Wazito leading the National Super League log with 78 points. Kisumu All Stars is number 2 with 77 points, tied of course on points with Nairobi Stima, and then number 4 is Ushuru 73, Kenya Police 63. Now, a win for Ushuru this afternoon means they will be in the Kenya Premier League next season. But now the drama will be between Kisumu All Stars and Nairobi Stima. Remember, the two teams are tied at 77 points apiece. And a win for Kisumu All Stars, of course, will mean that they will get into the Kenya Premier League. And Nairobi Stima, a win for them will mean that they will be they will be playing in the promotion playoff. If Nairobi Stima loses, and we have if Nairobi Stima loses, it still means that they will be taking part in the promotion playoff against Posta Rangers. Remember, Posta Rangers finished finished third from the bottom in the Kenya Premier League. So any team that finishes third here will be taking on Posta Rangers in the promotion playoff. You take a look at the bottom 5 teams that we have on the log, and we have at number 16 is Kibera Black Stars, at number 17 Migori Youth, at number 18 Green Commandos, at number 19 Thika United, and then at number 20 Kangemi All Stars. Those are the bottom 5 teams we have, with Kangemi All Stars having 28 points. That is after 37 matches. So we'd like to right now cross over to the Camp Toyo grounds here in Nairobi, where Kelvin Kimathi is on standby. Remember, Wazito, the team that is topping the table with 78 points, is taking on Migori Youth. Kevin, what do we expect from this fixture that just kicked off a few minutes ago?
Well, Robinson Wazito FC are already leading 2-0. They have already scored 2 goals against St. Joseph's Youth here at the Camp Toyoyo Stadium. Now, Joe Waithera, the man that is in the national football team Harambee Stars Chan squad, already gave Wazito the lead in the 4th minute before Aqua doubled the lead 7 minutes later. That is in the 11th minute. And for the last few minutes that this game has been played, you can clearly see that Wazito have made their intentions clear. They definitely want to clinch the 2018-2019 National Super League and get one of the 2 spots of the automatic qualification to the Kenya Premier League. Now remember, coming to this match, they were leading the standings with 78 points, and Kisumu All Stars was second with 77 points, tied with Nairobi Stima, and they were all battling it out for the 2 spots to get promoted to the Kenya Premier League. And by the look of things, they are already leading. And if Nyongeso, maybe you can pan on this side, you can see some action right there. Wazito are already aggressive going forward. By the last minutes that they have been playing, they have really shown they definitely want to win this title. Now remember, as the table stands at the moment, if things end this way, then definitely Wazito would have finished in the first position with 81 points. They were leading with 78 points before coming to this match. Now they are already leading this match with 2 goals down, and by the look of things, they definitely maybe win this match, but it's not all over. The match is still at the early stages. It's still in the first half, and on the other side, Kisumu All Stars, that have proved to be the surprise package this season in the National Super League, are facing the relegation battling Thika United in Thika, while Nairobi Stima are playing Eldoret Youth in the Eldoret Showground in a match that is proving to be a bit tricky for them. Eldoret Youth have been very strong playing at home right there in Eldoret, and by the look of things, if the match ends this way, then Wazito will definitely get promoted, and then Kisumu All Stars or Nairobi Stima will have to battle it out for the other automatic position to qualify. And yes, You can see right there, Robinson. Now, Wazito FC have scored their third goal. You can see the number 27 has scored that goal. You can definitely say that they have sealed their win. It's the first half and they already scored their third goal. Number 21, Wazito FC, donning that jersey. He has scored the third goal, making sure that they don't leave anything. They don't leave any chances here. They are using every chances they have to score more goals and make sure that they get away with the 3 points. For St. Joseph, they are placed 13th in the log, and definitely by look of things, they are not performing really well. They are performing really as expected at this moment. And but for Wazito, we can say that it's the side that has been a bit stronger than St. Joseph. With one of the players that has been very instrumental for Wazito this season, it's Musa Masika, the player right there who has also made it to the CHAN squad. Remember, Wazito have 3 players in the national football team, Harambee Stars CHAN squad. It's the only actually team that has produced 3 players from the National Super League. And as I was saying before, there was only 2 spots for automatic qualification to the Kenya Premier League, and that means that Wazito have already taken 1. Now it remains the battle is between Kisumu All Stars and Nairobi Steamer. Now whoever will finish that between those 3 teams will definitely have to play a playoff match against Posta Rangers, who finished 16th in the Kenya Premier League. And by the look of things at this moment, that maybe Nairobi Steamer need to score goals from the other side, and also Kisumu Stars to make sure that they get that one remaining spot. But at the moment, if this game ends this way, then definitely Wazito FC are back in the Kenya Premier League. But also, apart from the promotion battle, the relegation battle is going on. Green Commandos, Migori Youth, Kangemi All Stars are all fighting for relegation, and it will be decided after the 90 minutes. But let's speak to some of the fans that are keenly following this match here at the camp at Toyoyo Stadium. Sir, maybe you can start by introducing yourself.
My name is Kevin, and I'm a Gor Mahia fan. We would like to see the kind of opposition we will face next season, because the kind of the opposition we've been facing from Tusker, Sofapaka, Bandari, and the mega ones like FC Leopards have been a bit substandard, so we hope Wazito, but by the look of things, they will fall in the same category as Sony, Ulinzi. So next season, Gor will be concentrating on CAF games, not this Kenya Premier League, because this Wazito, this one, I think Gor Youth will be dealing with these ones in the first half of the season.
But looking at the first few minutes, though, Wazito have been very aggressive. They've had a great season. They have some good players. Talk about Musa Masika, talk about Joe Waithera and the rest of the players. What do you make of the first half by the look of things so far? They're leading 3-0 already.
Based on this game, we can't tell how strong was it, because we are not even sure if this match is already fixed. The kind of game this St. Joseph is playing looks like primary school ball games. So we will not rate Wazito based on this game. We are waiting for them next season with their bus.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Maybe let's speak to the next person right here. What's your name, sir?
My name is Brian. I'm of the same sentiments as Kevin. We are Gor Mahia fans. We come to see the kind of opposition. And I think from what I'm seeing, this is still going to be a joke. I think Kenya Premier League needs to improve. The NSL has been a little bit competitive. Like there's only 1 point gap between the top 3. I think that is what we need to see with the other teams coming to compete Gor Mahia. But I think Wazito are doing a good job.
But looking at the first few minutes, though, don't you think that maybe it's the opponents that are facing Wazito that aren't that bit strong? Because you can't judge Wazito with this, but look at their whole season. They've been doing great things. You should expect competition in the Kenya Premier League, because again, Wazito is one of the teams that has really invested hugely in their team, and they might invest more actually when they get promoted to the Kenya Premier League. So you guys at the end of the day have something to be worried about next season.
I've seen some quality in Wazito, though not so many of them. I think I can spot 2 or 3 players that are doing good. I'm also a fan of Wazito, though not an ardent fan. I'm Gor Mahia. I'm Wazito because I was at the University of Nairobi, so I'm their fan, but I don't think they can do much.
Being a Gor Mahia fan, definitely you have your sister team that you can call your brother team, that is Kisumu All Stars from Kisumu. They are playing Thika United at the Thika Stadium. Surprise package this season. I mean, this team was just formed in 2017, and now they are in the blink of qualifying, getting promoted to the Kenya Premier League. What do you make of Kisumu All Stars' run this season?
They are a good team. They are a good team, and one of the problems that Gor Mahia is facing in Kenya Premier League compared to the teams that we're playing in CAF, you look at the teams from Morocco, the kind of position that they have there. So we are praying for Kisumu All Stars. We know our match against Kisumu All Stars will be very, 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 very difficult and competitive. So it's a match we are looking forward to. We really hope that Kisumu All Stars make it to the league.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, Robinson, those are sentiments of some of the fans that are here keenly following this match that is going on right now. It's between Wazito and St. Joseph Youth, where currently Wazito are leading 3-0 already, the match in the first half. And as you can hear, the fans are saying that definitely Wazito is dominating this match, and they are looking forward to facing Wazito in the Kenya Premier League next season. Remember, some of the fans that we've spoken to right there are Gor Mahia fans, and definitely they are looking forward to that match between Gor Mahia and Kisumu All Stars if Kisumu All Stars get back to the Kenya Premier League. Back to you, Robinson.
Well, Kevin, how I've seen a number of fans right there at the Camp Toyoyo grounds, and normally it's not that feel like we've seen today. You know, how can you describe the mood on the ground?
Definitely, it's a bit chilly mode because at the moment it's a bit drizzling here at the stadium. But still, the fans have come in large numbers to see this specific match, because once again, you talk about Wazito getting promoted back to the Kenya Premier League. Most of the fans that are here actually are fans from other teams in the Kenya Premier League. They are just coming here to see the kind of opponents they will be facing next season. And by the look of things, they will not have an easy run. Wazito have really been performing really well, and despite the drizzling right here, the fans are here, some without even umbrellas, and they are watching their teams here and cheering on Wazito FC. Wazito has some fans here, but also St. Joseph have some fans that have come a long way to watch this specific match. It's their final match of the season, and they are currently placed 13th. Despite them struggling, they remain in the National Super League. Back to you, Robinson.
Well, thanks a lot, Kelvin Kimathi, who is at the Camp Toyoyo grounds here in Nairobi. Will be coming back.